Hi everybody, and welcome to the Millennial Revolt, an independent political talk show that seeks to bring a different narrative than the stale one we have going on right now in the mainstream media. Hillary Clinton's poll numbers are continuing to drop, and she is not getting the Sanders supporter support that they thought she would get with his endorsement. Now, a recent Bloomberg poll just showed that over 55% of Sanders supporters plan to vote for Hillary Clinton. Instead, 22% say they'll vote for Trump, while 18% say they'll vote for Libertarian Gary Johnson. And this isn't even including the Green Party candidate, Jill Stein. So this is not good. You would expect that after a major endorsement from the only other candidate who was running against her, who gave her a run for her money after Martin O'Malley dropped out earlier in the race, that she would get more support than that. And she's really not. There's the Never Hillary movement. There's the Bernie or Bust contingent that she has to worry about with Bernie Sanders supporters. And the Bernie or Green movement, which is rapidly growing. And for me, I just find this completely funny. I find this hysterical, to be quite frank, that instead of running a strong candidate such as Senator Sanders, who in all of the national polls, when he was versing Donald Trump, beat him by wide margins. Instead, you have Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State, former New York Senator, former First Lady, who had the mainstream media, the corporations all behind her. You had the DNC basically rolling out the coronation for her. And you still couldn't do it. Like, her poll numbers are just completely tanking. It's actually extremely funny to watch, but it's actually very sad. But this is actually good news for Jill Stein. Keeping on Hillary Clinton for a minute, I just wanted to tell you guys about recent polls that have come out. So a CBS News poll recently, 67% of voters now say that Clinton is not honest and trustworthy, which is up from 62% last month and the highest percentage this election cycle. Only 28% view her as honest. Hillary Clinton's ratings on honesty were more positive last April when she first announced her bid for the run to become president. Although Clinton receives lower marks on these attributes compared to last month, views of Trump have not improved either, so they're both in the same negative boat. On the email matter specifically, most voters think Clinton did something wrong when she set up a personal email address and a server for work while she was Secretary of State, including 46% who think what she did was illegal, up slightly from 41% last month. So the more people find out about your email scandal, the more people find out about what you did, your trustworthy numbers are just tanking, and that's terrible, quite honestly. And what I like about this poll is they broke it down from parties, so they show you everything. So let's read these numbers. Most Republicans, 78%, and half of independents think what Clinton did was illegal. Among Democrats, 43% say she did nothing wrong, and another 35% said she did something improper and illegal. They're saying few Democrats think she broke the law, but me being as a registered Democrat, I think she did break the law. I think she should be in prison. But again, sometimes I find these polls a little untrustworthy because most of these corporations have been known to donate to the Clinton Foundation or the Hillary Clinton campaign specifically, so she can get elected for president. So I think they're going to whitewash anything that she does just so it makes it seem that her numbers are more favorable than they are to a certain extent. Now, This is actually great news for Jill Stein, and I'm going to explain that in a few minutes. So now that Bernie Sanders has officially endorsed Hillary Clinton, Jill Stein has seen her campaign donations jump by over 1,000%. Jill Stein, the presumptive nominee of the Green Party, has raised more than $80,000 in just 24 hours. So Bernie Kratz, burners, they're putting their full weight behind Jill Stein, and they're sending a message to the Democratic Party that we will not fall in line. We will not be a united blue. We will not just vote blue no matter who. We're going to vote with our principles, and we're going to vote for someone who we believe in. Jill Stein herself has said there's been an explosion of burners coming in through every portal of the campaign, and it's really exciting. There is so much courage out there to stand up to the marching orders handed down by the usual suspects. So, about 615 of the donations were for $27, which is the same amount that has been solicited by the Sanders campaign in previous months, U.S. Uncut reported. When Sanders announced his endorsement, he even pointed out that many of his supporters would not be happy with his decision. And I remember the day of the endorsement, and I've been following Jill Stein for a while. One of her quotes said, "It sounds like the only good thing Bernie can say about Hillary is that she's not Donald Trump." That's what most of her supporters like about her, and it's actually true. When you ask, I feel when you look at Hillary Clinton's rallies, there isn't as much enthusiasm as you see at a Bernie Sanders rally. For me, and this is just my opinion, it seems that a lot of her supporters are either, one, supporting her just because she has a vagina, because she's a woman, or they're supporting her to oppose Donald Trump. And from the supporters I talk to, and from the things that I see on Twitter, and when I have conversations with these people, they seem to not understand her policy-wise, and the things that she's putting forward. They don't seem to have a clear grasp of what a Clinton presidency would look like, that they're just voting tribally. And I think this is the problem with a lot of Democrats. We vote tribally. We just vote for a candidate because they are a Democrat. And unfortunately, this has caused the Democratic Party to say, okay, well, we're always going to have our base supporters. And this has caused them to become a more hawk-like party. This has caused them to become more corporatist. And this has caused them to move extremely to the right. The Democrats are the new Republicans. And I say this all the time. The only reason why they continue to get votes is because they pander to the youth and minorities through social issues. And it works. Stein wrote an op-ed the same day where she proposed the Green Party as being a plan B for Bernie Sanders' impassioned progressive supporters. She said, though Bernie urged his supporters to forget the past and focus on the future, we forget the past at our peril. We cannot forget the triumph of Bernie's campaign and the hunger of the public for an economy that works for working people, not just billionaires. So Jill Stein has nowhere to go but up, and she has actually picked up 2 major endorsements. She has got an endorsement from Cornel West, one of Bernie Sanders' delegates, one of the people he put on the DNC platform committee. So I think that is amazing. And I love what Cornel West said. So Dr. Cornel West said, "This November we need change. Yet we are tied in a choice between Trump, who would be a neo-fascist catastrophe, and Clinton, a neoliberal disaster. That's why I'm supporting Jill Stein. I'm with her. the only progressive woman in the race. Because we've got to get beyond this lockjaw situation. Dr. Cornell wrote in an editorial in The Guardian, which is a British left-leaning paper. And she also picked up an endorsement from actor Viggo Mortensen, who backs Green Party candidate. And if you don't know who he was in The Lord of the Rings. He was the Human King. So this is what he said. He said, if you want, he said, and he was previously a vocal supporter of Senator Bernie Sanders. He said, if you want a woman, then vote for Jill Stein. Morton said in an interview with the Daily Beast published on Saturday, if you really want a woman president, if that's what you want, vote Jill Stein. Mortensen said he trusts Clinton as much as he trusts Donald Trump, which I think is completely awesome. He said, I think she's dishonest, and I don't think she has the interests of the working people at heart. And I think she's shown that time and again. All the things that Bernie Sanders said about her, I agree with. So, the actor vocalized his support for the progressive candidate in an interview with Democracy Now! In November. He said, I wish that Bernie Sanders would be president for many reasons. I think in many ways he speaks the truth to power. And I think the argument is, yes, if you'll vote for Jill Stein, you'll be giving Trump a chance. The Nader argument, he said on Saturday. But at some point, it's got to change. We should have a parliamentary system. It's really got to change. So, that's just my quick analysis of everything that's going on. And we shall see. Jill Stein has nowhere to go but up. And I think if she was smart, she would hire independent pollsters to collect data for her nationally. And don't leave it in the hands of the corporate media. Because they're just going to feed the public some BS, I believe. They're going to try to quash the Jill Stein campaign. And she seems like she's ready to take on that fight. She has said before that she is willing to fight election fraud. So we shall see. Jill Stein is rising while Hillary Clinton's numbers are tanking. So this is going to be an interesting race, especially on the left. So that's it. I'm the Millennial Revolt. You have a good day, guys. Bye.